YouTubers. I've been asked a few times to see how I set this jukebox up, so here's a view from the rear. Okay, you'll see the old monitor. This is a 1998 IBM monitor. Not going to touch anything with a skewer, but I took down separated the chassis from the tube that's sitting on a shelf. The chassis, all the controls are still at the front, as you'll see later. There's the tube. I've got easy access to the flyback transformer, which is just here for the tuning of the screen when need be. Now, what's in the back here? You'll see these coils on each side. They're just for speaker performance. Built them myself. Okay, here is another coil for the subwoofer. This is the Technics amp. It is 100 watt RMS. You'll see in the bottom there I've got 4 leads running out of a adapter, one obviously being for amplifier, screen, computer, and the LED lighting system on the front. This unit here I built, and it's for control of lighting and all that sort of stuff. As for the computer itself, 4 hard drives in there, or 5 hard drives in there, and all set up in RAID so the data is always protected. And yeah, so that's basically the back of the unit. I don't know if you can see down there the speakers. There's a couple of speakers poking through, and there is a subwoofer under this board here, which is connected to the back. I'll take you to the front of the machine now, where you get a better look at the controls and how everything works in it. Okay. Is player 1 and player 2 button. As you can see, everything's connected here. These are genuine arcade controllers. 2 original coin mechs, fully working, fully functional. I can invoke them if I want to. Okay, now I'm going to put a bit of light on the subject because I don't think you can see properly. So, as I've stated, we've got some original buttons and controls here from the arcade machine. They're fully wired and fully functional. Now, there is the interface controller right here, which is all connected to this controller here. I'll get you a bit closer. There you go. That's what's inside the arcade machine. Okay, so now the machine's back together, and like I said, this is the final installment of the videos I'll be doing on this jukebox. It is quite sustainable. There's nothing more I can do to it. So if you have a look there, you'll see the speaker system. They're from J-Car actually. It's all 100 watt stuff, 8 ohm, couple of like drivers and some tweeters, and also up the top have some cheap Tronica speakers. If you have a look, you'll see them there. They just assist in delivering some sound power. Now, there is a Sony subwoofer. It has its own, what would you say, its own integrated amplifier, so I don't have to worry about 8 ohm or 4 ohm. It runs on its own rail, so that's fine. But there is a subwoofer underneath. You can see the portholes there that I drilled in for the simple reason of letting sound out. There is also a porthole on the side for that for the ventilation to the driver itself. Now, 4 micro switches attached to this joystick. It enables 4 more points of contact to control the system. As you've seen by the computer that's in place inside this machine, it's pretty tight in there because of the CRT monitor. What would you say? I don't like opening this machine up too much, but I do for service and things like that. I mean, I wired the whole lot, so I know what's going on, how to fix things and all that sort of stuff. So I've got this feeling that my monitor is about to fail within the next 6 months, so I will be changing this to a 14-inch LED or LCD screen. Doesn't matter what I get, it'll be a cheapo. It only has to do one thing: show you the songs, you select, and away you go. So, how I've created the ini file for this, which is the controlling file, is like if you were to select a song, by NSYNC, you would see, I have a volume control up, which is to the right, and down, which is to the left, so I'll just turn it up, as you can see. I'll turn it down, but also I've enabled pause. Now, I haven't done anything with the bottom micro switch here, which is actually in the top because the lever tilts that way. So that's one more function available. But for instance, button fire 1, I don't know if you can see it up there, I'll show it to you after. It shows you a playlist of your favourites or the most played and all that. And what I've allocated, I'll just turn this around a bit, like so. Okay, what I've allocated button fire 1 is to your favourite playlist, like it shows you up there. I'll show you on the screen anyway. I'll get the camera closer and I will show you. But button fire 2, okay, you have to understand this this machine. It is an awesome machine, obviously, and I had to set up the computer in a RAID configuration for the simple reason that there's too many files here to lose, and the loss of files to me would be devastating. I mean, this has been an 8-year project. It's still ongoing. The only thing ongoing about it is I just put more files to it, which you people might like to understand that they are MP3s. And yeah, so the one critical aspect of this was designing the system so that the EMF created inside such a tight space, which is the electromagnetic field. I mean, you've got to remember that this is a CRT monitor. You have a degaussing coil, which is completely exposed. You have a computer sitting right underneath it. You have a controller, which I used to have dramas with like you wouldn't believe, because the electromagnetic field would actually knock out the circuitry upon startup. And I was shown how to protect the interface itself, and I did that. Okay, so I'm just going to switch off for a minute and I'll move the camera a bit closer and you'll understand all the controls a bit better. Now, these two buttons pressed in conjunction exit the program and go back to a Linux-based system. Now, this one here I use for pausing and volume control, obviously. This one here I've set to favourite playlist, and this one here is song selection. Now, like I said I was going to reiterate on what it can do. Sorry if you can see my bare feet. I am at home and in my own comfort zone, so just put up with that. Alright, so the reason I set this button up to select music, okay, if you see up here, I've just pushed it a gazillion times or whatever and the songs start playing, right? The reason I did that, it was quite simple, because I'll just cancel the selection and I'll cancel the song playing. Now, through the controls that I have here, I completely built this. This is, believe it or not, this control panel is worth quite a bit of money in momentary switches and the little globes that go in there and all that sort of stuff. I'd have to say there'd be $5 a switch there. So just, you know, counting these switches to there, that's $50, $55, $70 just for switches in creating this panel, but well worth it. Now, how I created this panel is I wanted to match it to the software. Now, I have built this machine all based around this software, so I can never run anything else but this software on this machine unless I have a total gut out and decide on something new and blah 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 blah. Alright, so the reason that this switch here is set up in the way that it just automatically randomly selects the songs for you is, I'll show you. Now, by pushing these arrows, I don't know if you can see the pages moving, right? Now let's say you wanted a song by, I'll just try and pick something, say Three Doors Down, Kryptonite, right? That's fine. You will get your song. But then you're going through the 5 seconds of Summer, B3, you know, unless you're sitting here and there's specific music you want to hear and you're willing to select it, which is, hey, look, all fine, you know. I mean, you can do it and it's great. I love watching people sitting around here and go, shivers, you got that song? I haven't heard that for years, you know. Like I said, 30,000 plus files is quite a lot. So, I'll just cancel the list and cancel the song once again. So, I will now push this button a gazillion times, and if you watch the playlist up here, you'll see it build itself, and the first song selected will automatically go across to what is currently being played, which shows you song, artist, and time remaining. Okay, so it's randomly selected some music. I'll turn it up a bit. Don't know who Sam Hunt is, don't care. It plays, it works fine, and that's obviously some kind of country and western, but through these controls here now, if I don't like the song, these are faded a bit, these signs that I made up to put behind these switches. I'm going to reprint them and do them a bit fancy. I can cancel the current song, so I'll push this one, and if you have a look at the song window here, so push, song cancelled, next one, Dude Looks Like a Lady. Right? Yeah, we've got live music too on here, and if I then push this one up, I'm pausing it, and it stays paused. We've played 7 seconds of the song, and voila. So, having said that, well, I'll cancel everything I can for the moment. Alright, so then I wasn't happy with this. I mean, you know, you need some party lighting and that. So I went to Aldi and I bought this party light kit they had there for $39, and I stripped it down. It is sound reactive, it does chase and everything. I pulled the whole unit apart, and if you have a look, you'll see the lights, you know, they're all around the unit, you know, like I had to stop there obviously because of the control panel. So I stripped the controller box from the back of the unit itself, drilled a couple of holes in my control panel here, and here's the power switch. So that's what you get now. Now I'll turn the sound up a bit and you'll see what I mean by sound reactive. So I've now paused it. I'll just cancel the song. Now this has been 8 years in the making, 8 at least. Not in the making, it's been built, but just the tweaks and all these different ideas I kept coming up with to make my jukebox the way I wanted it. Some of you might not like this, some of you like touchscreen. I am going to make a touchscreen jukebox, but I'm now making this last installment on this machine for the simple reason that I know it is very, very reliable. Very, very reliable. I know I could lend it out if I had to, but I wouldn't, because I have done it before, and people, people put beer and alcohol, and they're careless because it's not theirs. So I do have a fog machine there as well. Which I am going to look at once I do replace the CRT monitor. I will have room in there to have the smoke coming out left and right side from the back. It will be piped out there, and I'll probably put it on some kind of solenoid switch system so it comes on every 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever time I preset it. And yeah, so it's fully reliable. So what I'll do now, as per usual, I'm going to hit my switch and we will play some music. Like I said, I can select anything I want, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions? I'm always willing to answer them, and we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry, you don't know how.
I just turn the lights on.
Just Blaze. Oh, baby. Killer. All the girls see them. Look at his kick. Look at his car. All I say is, look, mommy, I'm no good. I'm so good. Clap at your soldiers sober. Then leave after it's over. Killer.
I want you to, if you don't mind, Carl, I'd like you to stay out and help us on some songs. Play the guitar, one of the greatest guitar players as well as songwriters and singers in business. Appreciate a little help on the guitar, all right? Thank you, Carl. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3 and he didn't leave much to Ma and me.
It's a major move right here, baby. You gotta get with it and get lost. You understand?
Yeah. It's Young Lord, reporting live from. She doesn't own a dress. Her hair. I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm the space invader.
Shut up, one and two, can remix, I can make them end.
Think you're gonna make me cry, make
Sha la 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 la, oh oh oh. Sha la la la.
I had a dream.
Okay, so that was it. As you've seen, I randomly selected the songs. Thank you once again for watching. And like I said, any questions on the machine itself, the build, the software, or anything you might be interested in, the lighting, for instance, or how it's all connected together, I'm always willing to respond on this subject matter. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.